Welcome. Come on in. It's Thursday and it's happy hour. Home happy hour to be exact. So grab a drink and let's get started. Hi everybody. It's Claire Paris with Paris Group Realty, LLC in Portland, Oregon. And today we're talking about how do I find the permits on my home? So this is, a kind of big deep dive, especially if your home is from like 1896, because as you can imagine, they did things a little bit differently before computers. So I actually have, and I might attach a photo of this so you can see it. It's the coolest thing ever. It looks like a little index card, and on it, handwritten is what the contractor did to the property, and they would submit those index cards, and that's how you did a permit back in the early 1900s. Of course, we've come a long way. Everything now is online, but depending on the age and the jurisdiction of your property, you're gonna wanna use different search tools. So specific to the city of Portland, there is portlandmaps.com. It's a pretty rad resource. It's got all kinds of crime statistics, permitting, pretty much any permit that was pulled in the last like 30 years. Now, there's another layer on top of that. The city has all the microfiches, or ideally some of the microfiches of those index cards. So you can go down to the city and request that they pull all the microfiches associated with a certain address. And it's kind of crazy because they changed the addresses back in like the 50s. So sometimes they'll pull it and then the address will be different. It's just really cool. It's kind of, I love history, so it's fascinating to me. But you can go down the city and request all that. That will not be on Portland Maps. Sometimes they'll even have plans, from the 90s or the 80s, but again, you have to go down. You can request them through the city of Portland, but that's going to be a different request through the Bureau of Developmental Services. That's not going to be on Portland Maps. Then, of course, if the property was not in the city of Portland when it was built. Now, that could have been 1920 and you could have been in Multnomah County, but not actually yet in the city of Portland. That's a whole nother layer. Then if you're in Washington County, Clark County, Clackamas County, they all have their own separate websites that you're going to want to access to be able to get any permitting history. So reach out because Google search does not easily turn up these resources. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. And then in each one of these programs, you're going to be able to click on the permit, and sometimes you can see the inspector's contact info. You can sometimes see the contractor's contact info, and if you're super lucky, they might still be in business and you might be able to reach out to them and see if they have any files on the property. And this comes especially handy if there's stuff like a decommissioned oil tank, or you're trying to get a status of things that you can't quite tell from the permitting what was actually done, because those index cards did not hold very much information. Those people are probably all dead, let's be honest. Of course, there's a resource for everything that you need. You just have to take some time to find out, or just call me. As always, it's a pleasure hanging out with you today, and we'll see you next week on our Home Happy Hour.